Hi there, it's Adrienne, the Victoria Paper Shaper. Today we are going to make a W card. It may have a different name than that, but that's what I'm calling it. And I'm going to show you a template for all the different pieces that you need for this. Okay, so you need, with color number 1 cardstock, you need a 4 1/4 by 11 scored at 5 1/2, and then you'll also need 4 2 by 2 squares of that color. I'm just going to move that. With color number 2, you'll need a 1 by 11 strip scored at 5 1/2 and 2 3/4. So it's going to wind up being your, let's get it right way up, being your W. Out of that same color cardstock, you need to create 4 mats at 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 and 4 1 7/8 by 1 7/8 squares. So these are just regular cardstock. You'll then need, you got a choice here, coordinating DSP. You can use 1 or 3 of the same DSP, being 4 by 5 1/4. If you choose to do 1, then you need to get a coordinating DSP for the inside, because 1 would be for the outside of the card, and you would need 2 of that one. And again, the measurement is 4 by 5 1/4 for a total of 3 DSP rectangles. And then a piece of very vanilla or base, actually no, it's basic white and basic vanilla now, I think. 4 by 5 1/4 for you to write on. Okay, put that where you can see it. Hang on. There you go. And then a third DSP, you need 4 1 3/4 by 1 3/4 squares. Okay, and I will show you what we are making. This is a lovely card, and I did a Zoom class on it. And so yeah, this video is for Ava, my youngest client, and she loved this card. This is the exact card she made. I sent her a kit with all the pieces, and then she used her own stamp on the front. So this one, I can read my little sticky note on the back, was made with the Butterfly Gala stamp punch, Butterfly Gala stamp and the Butterfly Duet punch. And then I used blends to color the butterflies. And this was the now retired Berry Delightful DSP. That was one that was only available during Celebration. It's so pretty. So that's one example. This one I did with the Whales Suite. I just love this one. So pretty. And this one, so this one I used the one DSP on the front and then 2 different ones on the inside, or a different one on the inside. Okay, and for the one that I'm making today, I'm using Hey Chick bundle, which this is, you know, it's fairly basic, but these dies are totally next level. They are amazing. And then the amazing Hey Chick, Hey Birthday Chick, and coordinating dies. So I used these 2 bundles to make the card I'm going to make today. So you've got your base, and it's been scored. Okay. I'm just going to put that aside for a second. And then you've got your strip that's been scored. So I've already attached these pieces to the mats. And to do that, you want to use your multi-purpose liquid glue and make sure you do it using a very small amount and leaving a border around the edge so that if it squelches out the side, it's not gonna wreck your paper. And the reason I use the multi-purpose liquid glue opposed to the stamping seal is when you've got a border this fine, it gives you that moment to adjust it. There you go. And then these are the smaller pieces that are going on the inside. I've already attached those, and I've got one here to do to show you. So again, you just want to be super careful keeping the glue in. I usually leave about a 1/4 inch, and less is more. So you're just going to flip it over, put it on your base, and then you just adjust it until you're happy with the borders. And there you go. So you've got those all set. So I'm going to put those aside for a minute, and we'll do the next part, which is attaching the thread or ribbon, which I have now lost. Oh, there it is. Oh my God. Okay, so we're going to attach this around the card. It's important that this is centered. So what you want to do is take a pencil, and you want to measure the halfway point. So this is a 4 1/4, so you want to have 2 1/8, and then make a pencil mark at that point on that side, on the fold, and on this edge. And then you want to turn it over and do the same thing. So you're making that little mark there for the center. If you have a really thick ribbon, let's say this was your ribbon, you might want to mark the outside edges of where it would be. Okay, so I'm just going to fold this in half. And this is about, what do we got here for your ribbons? 16, it's about 21 inches. Going to use your stamping seal to attach that. So I'm just going to make them down the middle here. And I'm not going to the edges because the edges actually show. So you fold your ribbon in half and then lay it over the center like that. And you're going to repeat that for the back. I'm just going to grab my silicone sheet, because if you turn this over without a silicone sheet, this is going to stick to whatever your surface is. So we're just going to turn it over on that. Quite center that, did I? Whoops. Let's see if I can take it off. Yeah, I can. Ooh, lucky me. Okay, so let's try that again. I'm folding it in half and then laying it down. There we go. Okay. So then we're going to just run a piece of tape runner down the middle. And fold this over, keeping and watching those little pencil marks, and then just push it down. There you go. So that's the hardest part of this card. Well, yeah, maybe. We'll see. Okay. So now you can attach the mats. So I've used the, what's it called? In Good Taste DSP. And I'll show you which kind. So it's all this lovely wood grain. And I've picked this piece for the front because it's quite a bit darker than the other pieces. So these two will go on the inside and this is going to go on the front. And again, I'm going to use the multi-purpose liquid glue because I have that moment to adjust. I'm just going to slide it on. Wait. No, I think I want that to be the front. So let's put it down on my silicone mat so it doesn't stick to my surface. And then just tweak it until the edges are all evenish. And on the back, you're going to put the piece with the white background. Sorry for the dogs barking if you can hear that. I think there's someone at the door, but I'm just going to have to ignore them. Okay, so we've got that's for the back of the card, and that's where you write your greeting. And then these two pieces will go on the inside, and you just want to decide how you want to lay it out, like aesthetically what works best for you, or what way you like it. I think I'm going to put it like that. I sometimes can't explain why. Maybe the bottom, yeah, it's a little darker, I think. So I think I want the darker at the, like on the bottom. Okay, so we're just, again, multi-purpose liquid glue around the edges. Okay, there you go. So that's sort of the card base all done. So the next step is to attach this. So how you're going to line this up, let's take this away now. How you're going to line this up is with the ribbon. Now this is a really skinny ribbon, so you want to make sure it's centered. Now it is going to bend up like that and then go like that. So we're going to attach these two sides. The most important part of this is to make sure that this part is in the middle, that this score line lines up with this score line. So I'll do this side first. I'm just going to put a little bit more glue on this because it's got to hold everything in. So the reason I fold it up to put on the adhesive is to make sure I don't get any on there, because that part has to be able to move, this part, these two pieces here. So then you're going to flip this down. And again, you just want to make sure that that's lined up. And this might not go completely flat again, and that's totally okay. So once you've got this lined up and it's fairly straight, then you can attach your squares. So they're going to be like these ones are all the same, I think. I don't think there's any real color differences. So what I do to make sure that they're even is I'll start with one of the outside squares. And then I'll do the inside squares. So you want to make sure you only put the adhesive on about the inner, no, I don't know, I'd say maybe no more than 3/4 of an inch, just to be safe, because you don't want this, actually no, this one doesn't matter. These two don't matter. It's the next two. Okay, oh, look at that, I'm so confused. Okay, so these ones, it doesn't matter because they're stuck flat, but the next two have to be able to lift up. So this goes down, and you want to make sure that you center it. And then this one. So again, just doing the outside edges first to sort of ensure symmetry. And you try and make sure it's about the same distance from the edge as the other one. Now for these two, you just want to make sure you put the adhesive in the middle. So just putting it about the middle 3/4 inch. And then I'm lining it up about the same distance from here as from this centerpiece. And you will have a moment or two to readjust it if it's not to your satisfaction. Again, that's why we use the liquid glue, because we have that moment of forgiveness, as I like to call it. Okay. Okay, so there we go. Pretty cool, huh? Now, for the fun part, we attach our decorations. So this could be anything. I use the Hey Chick and Hey Birthday Chick. So I have these ridiculously adorable chickens and roosters that I've already colored with our blends that are going to go on the inside. And again, this is something, you know, if they're different, you know, the butterfly one and the whale, these were like all pretty much the same, so it didn't really matter what order they went in. These ones are different, so I just, you know, you play with it until you're happy how you like for the colors and the style of the birds. And I think I like it like this, actually. We're going to go with that. Now, since this is already a pretty thick card, I would probably not use dimensionals on it. So I'm just going to attach these with a little bit of liquid glue in the center. This one is so happy. Oh my gosh, it's cute. So just a little bit of glue, sticking him down. There you go. So that's what I have for the inside. Now for the outside, I've got this pool party piece that I cut out with our stitch shapes. And then I've got this in champagne foil. This is one of the dies in the, which one is it? I think it's in the Hey Chick. Yeah, this is in the Hey Chick. I just love this. I think it could be used in a lot of different cards. And I used that amazing adhesive sheet underneath it. So when you run it through the machine, one swipe, and that's what I got. I didn't have to run it through multiple times, which is just amazing. Except I probably should have glued down this first. Oh, my poor brain. Okay, let's just figure out what I'm doing here. I think I wanted it like that. Yeah, okay. Okay, so that's down. And then this is just gonna stick on top of it. Sort of centered. Doesn't matter, it's a homemade card. And this one I will actually use dimensionals on because I think we've got like most of the bulk of the card is here, so I think a little bit of bulk here isn't going to hurt us. And this adorable one, because if you look at it closely, so after coloring it with blends, I used the Pool Party in Bermuda Bay on its body. I put some Wink of Stella on the funky long feathers, and I don't know if you can see it. And then on the cupcake, I used our fine tip glue, and I just brushed them on to just give it dimension. And I'm just gonna plunk him down there. And then how cute is this? The little sign, and a few of the greetings from the Hey Chick fit on the sign. I sponged it with some crumb cake to make it look a little more rustic. And again, I'll use dimensionals on this one to pop it up. And so you'd have a choice, like for this particular one, to have it straight or at an angle. And I think an angle is just cuter. And then to finish it off, I'll put on some rhinestones or colored pearls. But just for the assembly, you're just going to tie it together. So you've got a bow here, and then you can trim the ends as necessary, and you're done. Super cute W fold card. So feel free to message me with any questions. Please like and subscribe, and have a great day. Thank you so much.